What's going on, guys? This is Gibbs. We got Shogun over there to my left, but yeah, it's actually right in the webcam. All right, we're good. Shogun's to my left. We are going to be ranking the North America RLCS players going into the season 1 through 24. We're not doing a top 5 like most people would because everyone wants to praise everyone. No, we're ranking every single player, not the subs. Sorry, Sad Junior. But we are ranking 1 through 24. And again, like, before we start, Shogun, I just want to mention, like, even if you're 24th or 20th, these guys are still really good at Rocket League. They're not the worst players in the world, so don't get too upset about us. Don't blast us on Twitter. We know it's coming, pros. But that's what we wanted to do.
Actually, we can become more famous that way.
Exactly.
I will have a Twitter argument if it means I get to be more famous.
We'll get the drama going, but we'll start at the bottom, and we're gonna go through like, all right, so these guys are gonna be the ones really mad at us, and they're gonna be the ones we're gonna be watching throughout the season, see if they can have some redemption and maybe play a little bit better. But before we start all that, Shogun, it's been a long off season. We have not seen these players a lot. So, it's going to be some guesswork probably involved here because a lot of them are just scrimming privately. And I think, honestly, that'll make the season more fun because we won't know exactly how these guys are performing. But we're going to start, and we're going to start with Shogun so players can be mad at him first. So, Shogun.
Okay. I picked the ones I could best take on in combat.
Exactly. There you go. Pick the smallest ones. No. So, give me your 24 and then work your way up to 20, and then I'll go through mine.
So, you want me to actually say 20?
No. Start with 24. Like, we'll start at the bottom. But yeah, say 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Say 20.
So, number 24, I have Miho.
All right. Okay. All right.
Do you want me to explain why on any of these?
Sure, like a quick explanation. Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, so do you want any of it or?
Just a little bit. Like a quick one, and then we'll go over them more. Like, after I do my 5, we'll argue a little bit.
Okay, so Miho, we haven't seen anything competitive from him since X Games.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much here on the basis of there is no info on how he will do in a competitive environment.
Hey,
even
he
back
did
when he
sub.
was in a competitive environment.
He subbed for one series. Yeah, I know. He wasn't great. He wasn't great. Yeah,
number 23.
Yeah, I'm concerned about him, but go ahead. Continue.
Number 23, Hato.
Okay.
Same sort of thing, really. He's obviously been dwindling around in the rival series, but he's not, from my eyes, got major competition experience. Yes, he's got some good results in some of the other tournaments that go along, but this is a whole nother level. I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to perform. He's sort of the outlier on his team. So he's the big question mark for me.
And also that team, just in general, is...
It's a huge question mark. Yeah,
there's a lot of question marks there.
Number 22, Lachinio.
Okay.
Speaking of question marks.
Oh, interesting. You have Epic Johnny as their best player. Okay.
Just about. Epic Johnny's done some things to impress me.
Okay.
Lachinio, I wonder what he's going to do in game just about as much as I wonder what he's going to do on Twitter. It's always fun watching him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Okay.
21, the only person on this list of bottom 5 that I don't actually want to fight. I pit him here against my own better judgment, Chrome.
Okay, all right.
Chrome is a very strong player, but he's always just like, sort of there. He's never stood out on any of the teams.
Yeah, he's a support player for a reason.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
And number 20 for me is Zane Jackie.
Okay.
Now, a lot of North American players tell me that Zane Jackie is really good, and I believe that. I believe that he can be very good in scrims. Yeah. I believe he can be very good on ranked. But when the pressure is on, Zane Jackie shrinks, and he sort of looks to other people around him to maybe do some more of the work. And when we're getting more and more to this high level, Zane Jackie needs to be more willing to put that burden upon himself and start to distribute the ball a lot more.
Okay. I like it. I like that list. We'll go through mine, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll decide who's wrong. And obviously, Shogun's right. That's how it works.
Of course.
But all right. So my 24th is Hato. When you are on a rival series team and you get kicked off a rival series team that is still not in the RLCS, he's gonna have to show me a little bit more before I can put him any higher. I have him at number 24. I have his teammate, Epic Johnny, At number 23, I haven't seen a lot from Epic Johnny. To be fair, I haven't seen a ton from Out of Style in particular because it was through the Rival Series and all that. So I just haven't seen him do enough really yet. So there are some big question marks there for both those guys. So I have him there. Then I have Miho. I don't know how much Miho's playing. I honestly have no idea. Like, he had to take some time away to work with his father. I'm not sure if he's still doing that. I actually tried to get an interview with him just so I could figure out what the hell's going on with him. But he hasn't responded. Come on, Miho. So by the time this comes out, maybe I've talked to Miho. I honestly don't know. But Miho, I'm not sure exactly how much he is playing. By the way, we are recording this about a week before these go live. So if, like, some of these teams are now not Out of Style and they're some other org, sorry. But, oh well. 21, I have Zane Jackie.
Oh, okay.
Zane Jackie is one of those players where I think he has the potential to do more, but Ghost is literally not going to let him do more. Their whole strategy is don't let Zane Jackie hit the ball. So he can't get into a groove, and he's going to have a hard time throughout the season. And if Ghost does well, he'll do fine, but that's not his point on the team. He's supposed to be there as a last case player, and then just have Matt and Leth do basically everything. So I have Zane Jackie that low. And Zane Jackie, though, has impressed me last season. He improved, I thought, his skill a lot better than I thought he would. So he has impressed me.
Season 3 for Zane Jackie was
pretty
underwhelming overall.
Yeah.
Statistically, he was near the bottom of almost every single stat. So seeing him bounce back was really good.
Yeah. Number 20, I have Insolences. I just don't know exactly how this team dynamic is going to go. Obviously, Sis and Jacob, friends and all that stuff. But, like, Insol has always seemed like the only reason why he's still on this team is because Matt left. If Matt would have stayed, I could have easily seen Insol being bounced out. We'll see how much drive he has. He's always had problems with, like, team communication and all that stuff. So we'll see how he does. He had a pretty decent season last. It was pretty much like a mediocre for Rogue. They beat everyone below them, lost to everyone above them. And Insol, he played decently. So I could see him moving up. He might be lower than, 20. It's close. I almost had him at 18, but we'll get there in a second. So, okay. So there's our list. Pretty similar. Mm-hmm. Me and you both, Zane Jackie, relatively close. One big difference, I think, is Epic Johnny and Lachino. I think Latch is probably the best player on that team, but not by much. I have him coming up shortly here. So what do you see in Epic Johnny that has you not have him in this?
A lot of 6-man replays.
Okay,
is literally what I'm basing this on.
There you go.
I've managed to procure some of them, and what I've seen from Johnny is actually really good. We'll get into it a little bit when I do bring him up, but I think he can hold his own. His record in the North American Twitch Streamer Showdown, God, that was a long name that they chose for that. He finished at a very good record. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's something there. Okay.
And I could see it. Yeah, we'll see. The problem is it's gonna be hard because that team of Out of Style is gonna have a really hard time. So he may not be able to showcase it, but that's all three of them. So we'll see.
I mean, I don't see that team being like a typical NA number 8 team where it's just like, okay, well, they're defending, and that's it. I feel like they will try something, which is what I'm looking forward to.
All right, I am gonna go against that, and I think they're gonna have a hard time. I maybe momentum. But besides that, I think they're gonna have.
Yeah, but I'm talking time. Full on level of negative 100 shots against.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
By the end of the season, that we have seen.
That's fair.
Not seeing that from them.
And then I think Chrome. I think you might be slacking on Chrome just a little bit. He's shown a little bit more to me during this offseason, during the Tain Open when they were playing with Jacob. He's shown a little bit more where he's getting more on the offensive side and actually putting some goals in. And I'm interested to see how it works, though, because, again, he's playing the Classics again, which for a while they were like, we're never playing together again. But they're back together now. And then Corrupted G. And Classics is one of the more of the ball-chasey kind of players that wants to be on the aggressive side. So that might bring Chrome back onto defense, which might not suit him extremely well. So we'll see how that dynamic plays out. But I could see him dropping down as well. But besides that, I think we're relatively similar here. And let's
There's
move
not
on.
where the huge disagreements come in yet.
Let's move on, Shogun. I'll have you lead all of NA, and then I'll lead all of Europe. So
Okay, I don't think that's the way this was supposed to go, Gibbs, but I thank you for your trust.
It's fine. I want to see what
19.
you do. Yeah. All right, let's go.
The argument we had about it was pointless because at number 19, I have Epic Johnny.
Okay. That's what I figure. Like, he would be kind of close to down there, but...
Yeah, I mean,
but
that's
it is
roughly
interesting
where
that you
I
have him better than
be.
Latch.
Yeah, it's a team I expect to be in general. I just believe Johnny's a slightly better player.
Yeah.
I think we've already had this discussion. Like, I'm not going to linger on him too much.
Keep going.
Number 19. Oh wait, no, I already had number 19. Number 18. Classics.
Okay.
I never know where to sit on Classics.
Yeah, he's tough.
He is inconsistent, but he's also good. But he's also at times really bad. The only thing that really concerns me about Classics is the same thing I said about Zane Jackie of there doesn't seem to be big game fight in him. He's good for a big-ish game, but when it becomes to a massive game, it seems like he can sort of cave and not really do as much.
Okay. Like, I think from what he showed last season, I think he deserves a little bit higher, but okay.
Where am I right now? Number 17, Insolences.
All right.
I agree that this season is going to be tough for him. This is all going to be down to how much he is willing to put in to really try and make this work. He's always been a very strong performer, but
yeah,
I'm not sure.
To be fair, he did put in a lot of work last season. So, and honestly, he played maybe worse when he put in a lot of work. Like, I was talking to Chrome. He's like, I think Insolences was better when he was putting in 10 hours a week.
So if we can put, if we can put him on the old Timmy schedule of only play on the weekends,
there you go.
That might be the best player in NA.
It might work, but like
next up, Sizz.
Okay, all right.
I think Sizz is somewhat. I mean, Sizz is like a YouTuber. He's always going to get memed on when it comes to this sort of thing. But he's a very impressive performer to me. Just at sort of like a bottom mid tier right now of as we get into the very impressive players in North America.
Fully agree.
And I owe you one more.
Yes.
Are you one more, Gibbs?
Yes, one more. Sorry if you didn't hear me. Sorry.
The old Discord thing is lovely. It's keeps cutting you out. Okay. Number 16, Matt.
Oh,
it hurts to put my boy.
Okay.
It hurts to put my boy this far down.
We're gonna argue for this one.
We are about to argue. Apparently, Matt is an incredible player, but he has a lack of complete package when it comes to his gameplay.
Okay.
Obviously, it's very easy to sort of shove him into the he's offensive only sort of thing, but it's more or less a case of because of his positioning is normally based around being the target, sort of like a lesser a lot, that he doesn't quite keep up with momentum. So whenever a team is pressuring his team, he doesn't really do much of anything because he's waiting for the match to happen around him, and that's going to be a problem this season.
But I think he's one of the better offensive players in
in
North America.
Like top 3.
Okay, but like I don't think his defense is like that poor. Or we'll get into it a little bit more.
Like, that's not the argument I'm trying to make here. I'm saying team structure and what he's going to have around him to work. Will not suit him as well as he's expecting.
Gotcha. See, I think Rogue is one of those interesting teams where you actually have all 3 of their players back to back.
They're going to be relatively close.
No, I'm sorry. Matt is not on Rogue anymore. I'm sorry, Ghost. Yes. But like I think Ghost is looking pretty strong here. With Lethamir trying to make creative plays to set up Matt, I think Matt could have a really big season. Personally,
I think it's all going to be dependent on they're going to struggle against the top 2 or 3.
Yeah, probably.
I really think they can make a push for the rest of it. It's going to be highly dependent on what the delivery is going to be like to Matt. If he gets that delivery, it's going to be really good. But what I've seen from them from the limited amount of exposure I've had, not going to get that delivery as often.
Okay. I'll disagree with you there, but that's fine. All right, so I'll do my next players. This one might be a surprise to you, but I don't know how much of a surprise. We're going to get into it. Not 19, but 19, I have Latch, so that's no surprise. We're basically on the same level without a style, just a a little bit flipped. But Latch, like, I want to see more from Out of Style, and we'll see how that goes. Not much to say there. Now, number 18, we'll see how far you have him up your list, but I have Dapper.
You have Dapper?
I have Dapper. He
Okay.
he had maybe one of the worst seasons I've seen in the RLCS last season. It was miserable.
He was possibly the 24th best player of the RLCS last season.
It was rough. And his aerial game has really been like extremely poor for last season. And he's a great ones player, but you don't need an aerial game for the ones. So if he doesn't get his aerial game back up to par, it could be a really long season for him again. So that's why I have him really low. Like, his threes game has just seemed completely off. And I feel like the team didn't really make any like improvements over this time. That they swapped Miho and Moses, and like Moses I've always been pretty down on, but Miho hasn't played that much recently, so it depends how Miho's playing. Will help Dapper, will help Timmy, but I have Dapper down at number 18. And then next up, I have your boy Chrome, who you had only down 21. I think he deserves a little bit more credit, and I think he could have a decent season. He is a support player, and there are reasons for that. He's definitely not the most like mechanically gifted player, but he plays a decent threes game, and I think his supportive role is one of the better ones, I feel like, in the RLCS. And I feel like we are slowly getting away from supportive roles in the RLCS.
Oh, they won't win you a championship. Support team.
Exactly. Yeah, they won't. And but I still think he's been playing pretty decent. So I'm going to put him there. And then I agree with you at 16. I have Sizz. Sizz is just
okay. We actually managed to get one dead on.
Yeah, right. I think that's the only one, right,
Sizz,
so far.
This is official. Sizz is the 16th best player in North America,
which means he's the 40th best player if you count Europe. Because all 24 are better. No, I kid. But
throw your region under the bus there, Gibbs. I thought that was
I always do. Yeah, Sizz is just, I don't know. Like, a lot of people have said he hasn't been playing as much, or his his ability during the off season has gotten worse. Is what I've heard from a lot of pro players. But Sizz could bounce back. Like, he had a pretty decent season last season. Like, he was one of those cleanup goal scorers for Rogue, but it wasn't like mechanically amazing or anything from Sizz. So,
I think
like,
when
I still
it
would
comes
have
to Sizz, because of his standing in the community, like, a lot of people expect analysts to either take a really positive approach to him or a really negative, just like, oh, you guys are overplaying him. I mean, the best way to describe Sizz is, yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah. Like, he could be a third best player on a team, and they could possibly go far at a world championship, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's about it. Like, I don't know. So that's where I have Sizz. And then number 15, I have his buddy, Rizzo.
Oh.
So,
all right, you need to explain your stance on, like, how has your opinion on Rizzo changed over the last few seasons?
It basically hasn't. I've always had Rizzo as, like, he's gotten a lot better on the offensive side, I feel like, over the seasons. He can make some plays on the offensive side. His defense, and I don't understand on Reddit, and maybe, like, you might disagree with me, but people think his defense is, like, amazing, and I think it's one of the worst in the RLCS. And that's in one specific manner. The back wall defense, Rizzo looks so confused when he has to fly off the back wall, and he makes misplay after misplay after misplay when he's on the back wall and has to fly out and challenge a ball. It just does not work. It does not work at all. Now, if G2 moves Rizzo up, which they do at times, then he plays a lot better on the offensive side, but he gets a lot of help from J-Naps and Crow, obviously. And I think if Rizzo didn't have to play defense at all, he would be a lot higher on this list, but I think his defense has been extremely subpar. And when G2 struggles, like J-Naps even said, like, in an interview, it's like, if Rizzo's uncomfortable, we really struggle. And if he's comfortable, then we look great. The problem is he does look uncomfortable here or there. So that's why I have him at number 15. And I know, again, now all these YouTube guys are going to hate us.
More when I reveal where I've got him.
Okay. All right. So maybe me and you are like the Rizzo Matt. Maybe we have it flipped,
Maybe.
Like, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I love Matt, though. Matt's my boy.
So I have a couple issues with your list.
Yeah.
With Classics and Matt. Matt, I have way higher. I have extremely high because like Matt, I think plays extremely well. Again, it depends how it works on this Ghost squad, but we saw Ghost when they were just formed. They haven't, played a ton, and they've had a lot more time to play. And the work ethic of Lethamyr, I think, will really help Matt as well. Like, I don't think he's had another player that has really good work ethic around him that much. Like, I feel like Sizz and Insol don't really have that really strong work ethic, probably. But, so I think this season could be a really, really good one for Matt. And then Classics... He's weird, but he had a really good season last season. Like, I felt like he was playing well. He's not the most mechanically gifted player, but he's coming up bigger than usual in plays. Like Ghost, they did come number 2 in North America. Sure, they didn't show up that great at World Championships, and I think everyone kind of still had them outside the top 3. But Classics was a big role in why that team was still up there. So I have to give Classics a little bit more credit than you.
Okay. So... when it comes to, I'm going to justify the Matt one. I don't feel the need to justify the Classics.
No, that's fine. Like I get
too much because I believe on that one.
I get Classics. That's fine.
When it comes to Matt, I am basing this on not where I think he's going to be at the end of this season, but where he is right now, and what I saw from season 4, what I saw from DreamHack. There is more to come. Potentially, he can be much higher. But as of right now, he is not.
Okay. I can see it. Like, I think he had a quiet season last season, but I didn't think it was necessarily bad. I thought it was just
I mean, he's 16. Yeah. 16 is not bad.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah. Like, I'm saying, like, I just thought, like, his quiet season was not necessarily because he was playing more poorly. It was just that, like, Sizz was kind of cleaning up the goals. And that's just kind of how that works. Like, I thought he still played pretty well. And I think Matt is always a threat. Like, if... Matt is a player that I think can win you a series by himself at times. So, like, I think that's why I would have him higher. But, okay.
I think Matt needs a duo, but...
I'm
we'll
interested.
see how this one goes.
So, I'm interested...
We'll have someone at the end of this season be
happy. Yeah, I'm interested where you have Dapper. So, let's get into your next list of players. And if you don't have Dapper in here, I'm going to have issues. But, okay.
You want to know where I've got Dapper?
14?
Number 15, Dapper.
Oh, you mean 14?
Yeah. I
14.
think Dapper is... I feel like I made a mistake on this one. I think he should probably be lower.
Okay.
This is what I get for sort of forming this list this morning.
I formed it 10 minutes before we went here, so it's fine.
Pretty much. This is probably a mistake on having him here, but sorry, let's put some of them argument practices in and see if I can justify this. He was good in season 3.
Okay, that's fine with me. Like,
I can't justify this. Sorry, I've made a mistake on that one.
It's perfectly fine to have him 14. Well, all right, it's perfectly fine to have him 14, but it is not fine to have him in front of Matt, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. There was a whoopsie doodle had here.
Do you want me to swap those two? I can easily swap them. Okay, we're swapping them. Making some changes here.
We'll have the Matt watch as we get through it all. I just go, do you want to swap that with Matt?
Matt will just keep going up. All right.
Yeah. It'll be top 10 before he knows it.
All right.
My list is getting wrecked here. Whatever I've got here, I just don't. So I'm after...
You're on 13.
14 now?
You're on 13. 13.
Oh, God, I don't like the one-word answers because sometimes it cuts you off.
13. 1, 3.
Okay, we got 13. Wait, we're on 13?
Yes, we're on 13. Did you miss someone somewhere?
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are on 13.
Yes.
Oh, God, this is all wrecked all over the place. It's fine. I'll remember it. Timmy.
Okay. Timmy. Okay. All right. Wait, do I even have him on my list? Okay, I do. I was like, wait a minute.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Timmy is sort of stone dead in the middle of this list for me because he's good. He knows what he's doing, but he also at times doesn't know what he's doing. And therefore, that makes him very 50% for me.
Yeah, he carried his team last season, but he carried them to 8th place finish. So,
yeah,
what does that really say? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. After that, my boy, my best friend, the man that kissed me in a bloody vlog, Jacob.
Okay. I assumed it was Jacob, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Well, you were sort of hoping that it was Jacob on that one.
I mean, I was hoping it was someone else to change it up, but okay.
Oh, yeah, me and everyone are just so best buds like that. Yeah. I don't know, Marky might do it. That wouldn't surprise me too much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob had a poor season last season. There's no real getting away from that. And he knew after that Chiefs game that he was probably going to have to be the one to leave.
Yeah.
This season's going to be huge for him. Like, he needs a big performance this season just to sort of say, I'm still a top player. You know, I'm not on the decline. I'm not about to leave.
Mhm.
I believe he's got that in him. But he needs to be able to deliver, and he needs to be able to set up really good opportunities for his team and use that creativity and that unpredictability in a very good way, rather than sort of being the negative that he ended up being towards the end of his NRG tenure.
Yeah, like it seems like his mechanics are there, but his positioning just got a little bit worse as it went on.
He
And
just needs a little bit more
yeah.
Rocket League IQ, you know? Just
yeah, exactly.
A little bit more.
And like
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I feel like Rocket League IQ is probably easier to fix at this point than mechanics. So I think Jacob could have a very good bounce back season here. It's going to be tough for him, but because it's a brand new team, which might help him, like a brand new scenario. So he's got to like figure out how that works. But it's definitely not Fireburner and Garrett that he's going to. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
No, it's going to be difficult overall season. All right. And I believe I owe you one more.
Yes.
Oh.
One more, yeah.
Okay.
We'll do 4
Number 11,
here, so then we're at
Daddy Rizzo.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
So that's where I've put him.
Okay.
You do not. I don't care how good JNaps is. You do not win E-League and come second at DreamHack with a player that is in the bottom half of top tier Rocket League in North America. It just isn't a thing. Rizzo,
I can
that's
fine with me.
And I'm going to counter said about his backboard defense and sort of those issues he does have, because they are issues. They are real issues. But he performs in the most important matches. Against lesser teams, they don't need him to perform that well. You know, they've got JNaps and Kronovi to really sort of take that over.
Yeah.
But in the major matches where this pace is so much faster, he doesn't have to worry about that sort of thing because he's already down there moving around the rest of the team rather than having to worry about make that mistake. And that makes him a much better big match player than he is during just sort of a regular season match.
And honestly, like I think that's a perfect argument. He is definitely that clutch player. Like in game deciders, like game 5s and game 7s, he has like the best record of anyone in the RLCS. So that's perfectly understandable. Like I think I harp probably on his defensive mistakes probably a little bit more than most. That's perfectly fine. Like I could see him at number 11. I like it. All right. Let's go to my side. And where are we at? We're 14. Okay, 14. I have Classics. So we talked about Classics a decent amount here, but I just feel like he had a stronger season than most people give him credit for last season, and I think he has a chance to make some moves here with Equinox as well. Like Equinox is one of those teams, a big question mark for me, and we'll see how they play. Because Corrupted G has played extremely well for them always, and the problem is if he falters a little bit, Classics is going to have to kind of step up. We'll see if he can. But Classics, I have him like right in the middle. He's, whatever. He's doing all right. Now, this one might be a little bit interesting.
Okay.
We're talking about defense here again. I'm going to put Gimmick here. So I have Gimmick.
Ooh,
I know we love Gimmick. We love him.
All of last season.
I know. All right. I loved him online. Every single time we went to a live event, he still can put in goals. Like he's one of the best offensive players. He's kind of like my Matt for you. But he just makes these weird mistakes at live settings, and obviously most of this is going to be online. But we'll see. He makes a lot of weird mistakes. He uses a lot of boost that I've seen that he kind of takes from his teammates, kind of puts them in bad spots. His defense can be extremely shaky during high-pressure situations. His offense is second to none. He's one of the best. Like, if you put the ball up like in front of someone's net, he's probably scoring that goal. But he's just been a little bit shaky to me. And at this point, like coming down to the top 13, I feel like everyone is so close where I'm just like, I don't know exactly where to put him. But I think he is the worst on Cloud9, not by a lot. Like I think Squishy by the end of the season really showed up big. And then Gimmick kind of like sat back down a little bit. But I have Gimmick here. This might be a little bit too low. But I want to see him fix some of his defense. But I think Cloud9 is going to be a monster this season. And I think Gimmick will probably play well, but I have him at 13 for now. Next up, 12. I have Fireburner. Actually, no. You know what? I have Timmy. I'm changing it up right here. I have Timmy at number 12. Timmy, I would love to see Timmy with different teammates. I don't know necessarily, like, he might not have that great of a season this season, but I would love to see Timmy with different teammates. I think he has a really good case to, like, perform extremely well if he had better support around him. And that might not be the greatest argument here because he's not with better support. So he might not have that great of a season. But I think there's potential there from Timmy where he can play extremely well with a different team. Like, he might not be the best player on that team, but he can play around everyone. And I think his clutch factor is pretty damn good as well. But Timmy might be a little bit high on mine end, but you have him at 13 as well. So we're pretty close to that. Okay. So next up, number 11, I have Fireburner. I swapped them at the last second. So Fireburner, I have at number 11. Now, this is my mechanics versus Rocket League IQ. Like, I think eventually mechanics is going to win out because everyone's going to get a lot better at the IQ game. And Fireburner doesn't have the greatest mechanics. He has extremely good IQ. Like, his 50-50s are great, and that's partially mechanics. But he doesn't have maybe the flashiest moves to, like, on a 1v1 play, do something crazy and make a goal happen. I think he might take kind of a step down this season because Garrett G and probably Justin are going to go off, and I think Fire's going to have to kind of sit back, be that third man again. And he can do that. Like, he's done both roles. He's done that number 1 and that number 3 both extremely well. But I think eventually Fireburner is going to be one of those players that everyone's going to catch up to him in IQ at some point, and he's going to kind of struggle on the mechanics side just a bit. Not much. Like, he's still a great mechanical player, but just compared to some of these other guys, I have him at number 11 there.
All right. So, is this the part where we tear into each other?
Sure. You can start. Feel free.
Okay. So you try to justify this Fireburner pick.
All right.
Can we just get a screenshot of that?
That's
for
fine.
the end of the season?
That's fine. That's fine. Like, he might have a great season, but I think it's coming to the point where he's on the kind of like the decline of the hill. He went all the way up probably in season 3, and now he's kind of on the decline, just a bit, not a lot. Like, I'm not saying he's going to retire after this season. He's still going to play well. He's still number 11, but that's where I have.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll accept that for the time being. The board has accepted this request. Oh God, actually can't remember too much. At least you've got the sheet in front of you of everything I've said.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Well, all right. So I had Classics at 14. I had Gimmick, and then I had Timmy, and I had Fireburner. So
okay.
Like, I feel like you're probably gonna go into me on Gimmick.
I am going to go into you on Gimmick.
Or save it for when you go into him.
Though.
Okay. Okay. So
we'll save it for in there. Okay. Feel free to grill.
I think. Well, Matt is still an issue. I think Matt should still be higher there. So I'm still worried about Matt.
I'm happy. Like, where is Matt currently for mine right now? Like 14, 15?
Yeah, 14 is fine. Yeah. Now, Rizzo, okay, I liked your argument. I really liked your argument for Rizzo. He definitely has that clutch factor. It seems like he always comes up big in those games. And he might be playing down to some of the other competition at times where he doesn't have to play that well when they're playing worse teams. And maybe that's part of it. And it could just be because I've always noticed his weird defensive back wall. So now every time I see a small mistake, it probably is like magnified in my head. That I'm like, oh, there's another one. Let's put it on the board. So I might have him a little bit too low. So I kind of like your argument. I don't have much issue here with your 14 through 11. Like, I think Jacob.
Sounds like we're about to go a bit. We've sort of set ourselves up for the next 10 to just be nuts.
Okay, so I think Jacob, you might have had a little bit low, but not much. All right, go ahead, Shogun. Do your top 10. Just do 10 through 6.
10 through 6. Okay, so that's 5 more you want from me. Number 10, Kronovi.
Okay.
So I've got the two boys next to each other. I think Kronovi has improved leaps and bounds over the last 6 months.
I fully agree.
In terms of, not necessarily mechanically, but in-game IQ. He's now so much smarter about what he's going to do with the ball, because originally it was just do the thing, do it really fast.
Yeah, it's a lot less pre-jumps.
And do it really fast. Yeah. I mean, the problem was originally is sometimes you just need to take a second or so because your teammates need to get back in rotation. And the problem was is that because Crow wanted it to happen immediately, it was just meaning, okay, well, he's done nothing with the ball and he's left his team 3v2. Or it's sometimes, if they're not even back, 3v0. But he's fixed that now, and he's looking probably the best I've ever seen him. Not necessarily against, like, comparatively to his other competition, but in terms of being a useful player, this is the best he's ever been.
I fully agree. Like, I have him a little bit higher than you, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I mean, that, like, number 10, like, if you get number 10 upwards for me, you're sick no matter what.
Yeah, right. It's super close.
How sick are you?
Yeah.
Number 9, Gimmick.
Okay.
So have him below the rest of Cloud9. I just don't. Maybe I haven't noticed the issues you have, or maybe they're not as prevalent as you believe them to be.
Yeah.
Gimmick is still an incredibly strong player. He has got his place in that team, and whilst he does have a couple of weaknesses, he more than makes up with it with his creativity with the ball. He's not necessarily one that gets the ball and immediately loses it. As soon as I see Gimmick with the ball, I just sort of know, okay, the team is fine for the time being. Okay. It's just him getting the ball, which can be a problem.
Yeah, so it's funny because I think Cloud9, like, I don't think they can replace him at all.
No.
I just think there's some slight issues, and that could easily be fixed this season going into some live finals.
In a way that would sort of appease both of us, Gimmick with Cloud9 is the 9th best player. Gimmick with another team is much lower.
Yeah.
But his strengths are sort of made stronger by the people he's got around him, and I think that really helps. Number 8, Corrupted G. Big Gabe, the goal boy.
Yep.
He's an incredibly well-rounded player. Let's just put that out there to start off with. Can he do more? We won't know. I think he could probably do a better unit around him. Like, I feel like he's squeezing out the best he can possibly do with the teams he's got so far. So unless he gets either better delivery to him or just finds a new team, this is as good as he's getting for the time being, especially with the intense competition around him. Number 7, Justin.
I was gonna guess that.
This is just.
I like it.
This is just purely out of, okay, I know you're good. We've seen you dominate the rival series. I don't know how good you are compared to, top tier players though.
Yeah, this is another one of those like IQ tests.
Yeah, I mean, the only real indication we've had was the streamer showdown, which he performed also very well in. I believe actually if he completed the right amount of games to do that, he would have actually won it. So yeah, Justin, he's there. I don't know how well he's going to do this season. I believe well, but for someone I have so little information on, I can't justify any higher.
Okay.
And the last one. So here's going to be our conversation point for this bit.
Okay.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Fireburner.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm going a bit further than you on this one.
Yeah.
I think that not only is him having Justin and, oh God, I've managed to forget the team, Garrett, going to be a good thing, but him being in that third man role is possibly the best thing he can have for his career. He has always been so good at one-touch plays and sort of picking his moment to go in. And having 2 players around, especially in the form of Justin, that'll be able to just go, all right, we've got 100 boost. I'm going to go and do some damage. Fireburner, you make sure the play goes well and nothing goes majorly wrong. That's the best spot Fireburner can possibly be in. He's going to be like a Season 2 Marky Dudar, but with a stronger unit around him to create those plays. And I think that is going to work so well for him.
Yeah, so I think he's like not on the same side as like a Zane Jackie on Ghost. He's going to get a lot less ball touches, I feel like, Fireburner. And that might hurt his standings. But they'll be
My
quality.
argument here is, Gibbs, he is going to have the highest ball touch to goal ratio.
Yeah, that's perfectly
RLCS.
fine. That is perfect. Like, I think they will be quality ball touches when he does get the ball. I just think he might have to take a step back just because he has to on this team. And so that's why I have him a little bit lower, but it's probably the best role for a Fireburner, like with the IQ of just like, all right, I have 5 touches this game, like even though it'll be a lot more than that, but I have to make them all count. Fireburner is probably one of the best players to be able to do that. So, like, I could see it. It's a good argument for Fireburner there.
Right, I believe that's all of them.
All right.
That you
So,
need from me.
I like your list. Your 10 through 6.
Yeah.
I have some differences, obviously. I like Kronovi. Like, I think we both have him in the top 10. And I think that is definitely noted. Same with Corrupted G. Like, Corrupted G is one of those players where I just wonder what would happen if he was on a different team, but I think there's been chances for him to join other teams, and like no one ever wants him.
I feel
so. I don't know.
We can say what could he do with a better team. There's also the argument of, well, wouldn't he be on one by now?
Exactly. So that's what, like, that's always the big question to me is like the other players I feel like don't respect him that much, and sometimes like I think their input is valuable to an extent, but you know. So anyway, let's go on here. So my number 10.
We'll put the shovel down on that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I have Jacob at number 10, so we're relatively close. I have him just a smidge higher than Fireburner just because of those plays where if he has the ball alone, he can do a lot with it compared to Fireburner. Fireburner is more of that team player. And I think Jacob can kind of become more team-like than Fireburner can become more solo-like. To be fair, Fireburner probably doesn't have to nearly as much as what Jacob has to on his roster. But I think Jacob needs to have a big season for Rogue to have any chance whatsoever to make it to the World Championship. So I think he'll have a pretty decent season here. Number 9, I have Corrupted G. So
nice.
We talked about him a lot. He is probably one of the best, just like, all right, the ball is slowly rolling back to you. Pick your exact spot in the net and hit it as hard as you can. And Corrupted G is so good at that. Probably one of the best players at it. Like, I think he might have even maybe overperformed last season with Denial. We'll see if he can keep that pace up. But he has been, like, on a tear. But again, it's going to be hard for him with not a lot of support around him or as much. Like, I think Classics could help him a lot. Like, if he is being that aggressive role and just trying to spill that ball just out into the midfield, that might really help Corrupted G, but we'll have to see. Number 8, I have Kronovi. So, you know, like everyone knows I rag on G2 a little bit, but I think Kronovi is playing the best Rocket League he's playing. I think he's one of the main reasons why G2 has been playing so well. I rarely see him making mistakes nowadays. He's not doing those pre-jumps nearly as much. He's going a lot more trying to look for the passing plays. He lets JNAPS do whatever he wants, which is the best thing that Kronovi can do. So he's just pretty like, much. All right, JNAPS, you do what you need to do. I will help support you in any way possible, and he helps support Rizzo as well. I think Crow's in a great spot right now in his career, and like a lot of people probably thought that Kronovi was on the downhill, but he's kind of like found something new there, and it's been working out extremely well for him. So I have him at number 8. Now here's where I have my boy Matt. Number 7. Matt is a beast. Matt is a fucking beast, all right? I don't know what you are talking about, Shogun, at 14, but Matt is a monster, and I think he's going to have a really good season. Watch out for him. He could be the Golden Striker. Could be the Golden Striker this season. Matt's going to have a really good season. He didn't look great at DreamHack, but it's one tournament. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. I think Matt could have a really big season. I've always been a big fan of Matt, though. Like, even back when he was with Sizz and A-Money, I was like, Matt is great. He's fantastic. They're a last place team, but he's fantastic. So I'm going to always hype up Matt. Next up, I have Lethamyr at number 6. I think it's like your boy, Lethamyr. I feel like you like Lethamyr a lot, but
I do like Lethamyr a lot. Yeah, Lethamyr was one of those ones that I came in every season and just said, this is going to be Lethamyr's season.
And it hasn't been yet.
Do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the season where he has a chance to really do something special here. Like, I have both these Ghost guys at 6'7", and they're going to need to perform like a 6'7", because of their play style. Basically, they just want Zane Jackie to not do anything, and Leth is going to be that one doing those 1v1 dribble plays to set up passes for Matt. And Leth is probably the most creative player, I feel like, at like 0 boost or very limited boost to be able to make moves. He uses his 1v1 skill so much better than Dapper does when it comes to a threes game, I feel like.
I mean, we saw him at DreamHack, 0 boost of like almost all the time. Team.
Yeah, like he is extremely smart, and also he doesn't have a job anymore. He was a computer engineer, so he had to do that and then grind out Rocket League. Now he has a lot more free time. I think this could be the season for Leth to put him on your fantasy roster like Shogun did last season and got really lucky with that one game where he shut up for but Lethemir,
you ended up winning.
Yeah, like Lethemir is definitely a beast, but I have him at number 6. So basically, I think the question is like Lethemir or Justin between the two of us. We'll get to Justin in a bit for me, but for now, I have Lethemir at number 6.
Okay. So let's go into this, shall we? A little bit.
All right, let's go.
There's not really too much controversy between either of us. Just the discrepancy on the Matt pick.
Yes, Matt is the big pick, and Fireburner partially as well.
Listen, I would love to receive a Twitter message from Matt at the very end of this season, just saying, "You fucking what?" Like,
yeah, like
I am way better than what you put me as. I would love for that to happen.
And I'm waiting for Fireburner.
I haven't seen it recently.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for Fireburner, probably the same exact way. We'll probably share a flight to the next World Championship because he'll make it again because he's a beast. And he'll be like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not top 10 in North America? That's probably what's going to happen. But like, I think your pick's pretty good. Like, I think Justin is going to be one that we'll have some conversations about in a bit. So we'll save that.
Really.
Exactly. We'll save that one. And Gimmick, like, I know he's our boy. And honestly, I don't have him that much further down than you. And honestly, mine's probably too low. Like, I think Gimmick is in a good spot. Like, I think Corrupted G and Crow were basically even on. It's super close. It makes sense there. And then Jacob, I just have a little higher than you. It's pretty close along the way. All right, let's do it, Shogun. Top 5. Here we go.
Top 5, baby. Let's do this thing. All right.
Let's go.
Number 5. Torment.
5. All right.
What can I really say? Torment is possibly the most well-rounded third man in all of Rocket League. You know, we talk about players like Corrupted G, who it actually isn't a third man. Why did I even bring that one up? But there's like 2 forms of third man, really. We either see incredibly offensive, trying to nick a goal, or incredibly defensive, just trying to make sure no mistakes happen. Not only does Torment not do like that as his full objective, but he is possibly the very best at saving the ball in a way that opens up his team to move it around still.
Yeah.
It's a save and control, which is so impressive.
Like, the counterattack game, like on Cloud9, I think it all begins with Torment, like most of the time on the defensive side, to get that ball out so fast to a Squishy or a Gimmick to like set up those passes.
Now, is he the best player on that team? No. Is the third man ever going to get the credit they really deserve? No, not really.
Of course, Shogun, I know.
What he does is he is revolutionizing that role. He is the best at it right now. And I want to see him keep doing that. I want to see how much further he can take it. Yeah,
he's a beast. And like, we saw him with energy at DreamHack, and he's like, oh, this is weird. I don't have to like sit back. This is nice. And he was playing amazing. So
he was until he hit a brick wall.
Yeah, well, he came to Game 7. It was, whatever.
Exactly. I mean, Game 7 is just sort of normal by this point.
Yeah.
He's like high-level Rocket League. Number 4, Lethemir.
All right.
I can't justify putting him any higher, otherwise I would. But I agree. He is, without a doubt, the best player on his team. And his ability to just make something happen out of nowhere is so crucial on a team that needs goals. So Ghost, I think they are sort of the outlier for that number 4 spot. Like, that seems to be what everyone's going to be fighting for this season. They're going to, if Lethemir has a good season, they've got it. If Lethemir has a mediocre or bad season, they're going to have to fight.
Yeah.
But most are going to be down to him.
has the chance to be the MVP this season. I think has a very good chance at being MVP because he might be that difference maker on Ghost of holy crap. Like, look at these plays that Lethemir has created where he beats 2, maybe even 3 players, and then Matt just has a wide open net. And I could see that happening time and time again for Ghost. So Lethemir is definitely one of those players. And it also comes down to their play style where, once again, it's basically a 2-man show over there. So Lethemir has to perform extremely well for that to work. So Lethemir, I could easily see, like, if there was like odds for an MVP, he would probably be like number 3. I would have him behind JNaps and probably Justin. But
now, the better the season Lethemir has, the better the season Matt will have.
True.
And then I get to be wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, at number 3, Matt. I faked you off.
There's 2 Matts. I found out someone else's other
He's
first
so
name.
good.
Number 3. Where did I put my list? Garrett.
Yeah, I assumed. All right.
I mean, there was a top 3 here that I think we all could sort of predict. It was just what order they were going to be in.
Sure.
Garrett's going to have one of the best seasons of his life. Not the best season of his life. I doubt he's going to be able to ever top the sort of levels he reached in Season 2 and Season 3. Unless he can pick himself up a championship of sorts. But this team seems almost set around, all right, Garrett and Justin, do your thing. And we know how well Garrett can do when he's unleashed in that sort of role. Can he do it again? Who knows? Am I looking forward to finding out? Abso-bloody-lutely. Number 2, Squishy. Because we were all so surprised by who I was going to put at number 1.
Yeah, right.
Squishy's ball control and his mechanics are ridiculous. Like, I look at them nowadays and I actually think to myself, why am I even bothering? Because he does things keyboard and mouse that I can't do ever. And I put hours in this game.
Yeah, he's on a different level with the mechanics. Like, him and Justin, I feel like, have like this weird thing in their brain that just makes it like, oh, we are the car now. We know what we're doing. We can control the ball.
And the most impressive thing about Squishy is that when you do have those mechanics, we've seen so many players do something that they know they can do for the sake of doing it. But his use of those mechanics is, well, I need to use it right now.
Yeah.
You know, every other time he'll take the smarter option to go through. But if he sees an opportunity that just says, all right, well, nothing else is really going to work here, I might as well pull something out, he will use it, and it usually succeeds and opens up a team. He's got the level of creativity that you need at high-level Rocket League, especially if you've got a team, say your team's 2 goals down and the other team's starting to turtle up. Squishy is the one you're looking at and just going, all right, I need you to either go for a pass, go off the ceiling, get off the backboard, do something to open them up. And Squishy is possibly one of the best around at doing that.
Fully agree.
And number 1, JNaps. Why? Because he is JNaps.
He has like the mechanics and the IQ right now. The IQ is out of this world right now. Like, he's been insane for the past like 6 months. He's just been getting better and better and better.
It's hard for me to like explain why I've put him at number 1, because usually when you justify this sort of thing, you list like 2 or 3 things that he does better than everyone else. But he does everything better than everyone else in North America. So that's the reason why, you know, he's just a tier above.
I like it. All right. Don't have to say too much there. We'll go into my top 5 and then we'll talk about it. All right. My number 5, I agree with you. Torment. He is one of the best, or like is the best, probably 3rd man on a team. And he's just like so consistent. It's just insane. He's like nearly perfect at that position. But again, that position doesn't get as much credit as it probably deserves. So I mean, that's where I have
a championship. That's the unfortunate part of it.
Yeah.
Is that
like he needs the others to do it. So
yeah.
Now here's where we differ.
Okay.
Number 4, Garrett G.
Number 4.
Yes. So Garrett G left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth at the World Championships. I felt like the reason why Energy lost at times was because of Garrett with like wide open nets that he should hit every single time. He missed them. So that made me downgrade him just a bit. Obviously didn't downgrade him a lot. Like, I think he's one of the best players that could play in any single role on a team. And I think that's perfect when you have a new player coming in like Justin to play like figure out what Justin likes to do, and then change your play style to fit that. And I think Garrett G is the perfect teammate in one of those situations. So I think he'll still have a great season, but I think on purpose, he's going to highlight Justin more. That's why I have him at number 4. Number 3, the Church of Justin. I am a member. I am ready. I am praying to the Justin God, the Rocket League God. He's like Moses, like if Squishy was Jesus, if that makes sense. Okay. That probably doesn't make sense. I don't know my religion that well.
It really doesn't.
I don't know my religion that well. So Justin is basically on the same form as Squishy of he can make such creative plays. Let's see if he can do that in the RLCS, but I believe he will do that. And Garrett was even saying, like, in their scrims, like, Justin is getting, like, so many more points than everyone in the room just because, like, they give him the ball, he does his thing, and he makes people miss. And I believe Justin is going to have an insane season, and I think Energy is going to have a really good season here. And I am going to have him at number 3. But, again, he's a big question mark. We'll see what happens. But I think he will have an extremely good season. And, again, it's probably more of, like, I'm starting to favor mechanical play versus IQ because I think everyone's slowly catching up on the IQ because they can learn off each other. So that's why I have Justin there. Next up, I have Squishy, number 2. And, of course, JNAP's number 1. Now, Squishy is the mechanical god. That's the only thing he does better than JNAP's. Like, I think JNAP's, is not as mechanically gifted as probably a Squishy or Justin, but a Squishy has learned to not just do it every single time and just give the other team the ball from, like, midfield. He's learning to use it in passing. He throughout the entire season for Cloud9, just Squishy kept getting better and better at becoming more of a team player while throwing that in there when he needed to. His mechanical play. So like I think Squishy is on a tier with JNAPS, and I think no one else is probably close. Like Justin might be able to join that tier for the season, but Squishy is playing extremely well, and that's why Cloud9 is one of the best teams in the world. And then JNAP's number 1. Like, it's hard to pinpoint because he's just everywhere all the time. Like, at DreamHack, it was what? That Game 6 versus Energy where he literally did everything for, like, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It's just nuts. It's just absolutely insane. Like, and at times you're just like, how? How is this happening? And JNAPS is just like, he's not going to miss that shot. He can play defense like no other. He picks up his teammates when they're down, and it's just like, he's insane. Simple as that.
JNAPS is incredibly annoying as a broadcaster because you start to wonder if you're praising him too much.
Yeah, right.
You everything you say about him is positive, but I've almost found myself almost looking too much out for negatives when it comes to his play, and I still struggle to find them. Yeah. Nitpicks aren't even really plausible with him. So I think we definitely agree on the top 2. Let's speak about Justin, shall we?
Sure.
I can definitely see where you're coming from that. I can see me agreeing with you at the end of the season. I think when it comes to the Justin sort of pick, that's where me and you sort of picking this list are differentiating in terms of philosophy.
Yeah.
You're looking a little bit wider in the time frame. Like you're looking last 6 months and next 6 months. Whilst I'm looking
throughout the season.
6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Now. Like Justin, I think he might have a hard time week 1 or 2, but by the end of the season, like regional championship, he's going to be a monster.
I think Justin, out of everyone that is going to benefit from the rival series, Justin will be the biggest beneficiary. Not only because that helped his star rise, but because it's got him used to this schedule of online gameplay. Can he do that at a live setting, though?
Yeah, that's the big question mark. That's the huge question mark. Is like, because like Energy, they've had nerves without Justin. Like Fireburner, Garrett, and Jacob, they all have nerves. It seems like almost every single time they're at a live event. They've had some good results, but like you can see nerves in their play at times at live events. And I felt like the last World Championships, we saw that with Garrett where he just missed some shots. And like he says, it wasn't nerves. I was just playing bad, but that's what everyone's going to say. And it probably is true, but still, you don't want to play bad on a live setting. And
they need that very first live event they do to go really well.
Otherwise,
it's going to get stuck. I mean, this is their opportunity to have almost a placebo as players and just sort of go, oh, okay, well, we can move on now. But
like, I
if the very
bet,
first one goes bad, they'll just go, "Oh, it's the same as always."
yeah. So I bet they are really hoping that for some reason, like during that break, like we usually have what 3 to 4 weeks before the LAN,
Something like
that some other LAN pops up that they can go to and get Justin that at least first experience. Because that, really that's the big question mark. That I'm not sure about at all with Justin, but we'll see. We'll see. Like, he is a big question mark, but as long as you had him in your top 10, I was fine anywhere you put him. Like, Justin is a player, just big question marks, and he could be anywhere in that top 10. So,
yeah,
I'm fine with that there. And we both almost had him in our top 5, so that's pretty good. But for the most part, I think our lists are extremely similar. Big ones were Fireburner for me and you, Matt. And then, like, down the list, maybe like a Rizzo a little bit.
Yeah.
And probably a little bit of a Dapper, but not much. And a Chrome.
Yeah, there wasn't anything egregious between us. We were just like, okay, hold on a second here. Now you shut your mouth.
Yeah, prove your point. And then there you go. But so, guys, that's been our North America players. I did not expect this to take an hour, Shogun. Whoops. So it's been an hour.
A couple of these to do.
Yeah, we got a few more to do, but this is our North America RLCS players. You can tweet at Shogun if you think the list is wrong. Don't tweet at me. So you're at what? At Mega Shogun RL?
At Callum the Shogun.
Oh, see, I don't know this stuff. At Callum the Shogun. I should have put it on the screen, but I didn't.
Should have done.
You can find him. He said follow him on Twitter a lot. It's fine.
I said
anyway,
it
guys. And well, but then everyone else has said it a lot. But
that's not my fault.
There we go. North America RLCS players number 1 through 24. We ranked them all. We'll see if anyone gets subbed out halfway through the season. Who knows? Maybe Shogun will wind up playing for Rogue. He'll take over spot for Insult.
1v1 me, Matt.
You never know. Oh, Matt's not on Rogue anymore, Shogun. It's been a long off season.
I know, but he's going to be so annoyed at me.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. We will be back with the European players, which I think is a much tougher list to make. And, yeah. Thank you, Shogun.
Thank you.